Hey guys, it's me Keisha and I'm here with this week's All Tea All Shade Real Housewives of Orange County Season 19 Episode 2 review. Y'all ready to get into this week's episode? Because I am. It was a good one. A lot of stuff came out. So we start off with Gina, Tamra, and Emily going to get some little work done, spa treatments. Don't give me the line. But anywho, so Gina gives Tamara props on trying with Shannon and not allowing herself to get angry or lash out. And I'm like, Gina, are you sleepy? Like, she doesn't get to be congratulated for trying with somebody that she effed over. That's the least that she can do. You act like you weren't there last year and saw how that lady did Shannon. Her and Emily just follow in behind Tamra so much and let her slide for the disgusting things that she does. And it's just like, y'all are some dimwits. Like, I just can't with them too. So Emily says, I wonder what else Katie has done, right? Because they get to talking about the Katie situation. And Tamara tells them that Katie filmed Shannon going off about Alexis last year when they were filming and taking photos and stuff for their promo shoot for last season, right? And how Shannon came in going off or whatever, and she was talking about Alexis because she was mad that Alexis was there at the same time that she was, and that Katie filmed it and then showed the video footage to Alexis. Now, mind you, this was while the lawsuit was going on with John Jansen, Alexis, and Shannon. So if they wanted to be petty, they could have tried to use some of that in court against Shannon. It could have, been bad for her. And considering the fact that I believe at that time her and Shannon were okay, if I'm not mistaken, like, why would you do that and why would you get involved in that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that she was cool with Alexis, but like, I just wouldn't even want to know parts of that, period. That was very shady. And considering the fact that her and Shannon are good now, I would have wished that she would have told her that. That's why I'm like, I don't know if her and Shannon were good then, but if they weren't good, she still should have went and told her, hey, I did this thing when me and you weren't cool. Shannon would have probably still reacted the way that she did, but at least she told her the truth. If she did it and they were cool at the time, it's even worse. Yeah, Katie, I don't know if I can really ride with you anymore, sis. You're looking really bad. You're looking really bad. So Shannon links with Katie at like this little park area in Laguna Beach, and they talk about Katie and the blogger situation, the nanny situation, and Katie is like, I am not this evil mastermind that the girls are trying to paint me out to be. And Shannon is trying to give her advice on how to make up with the girls. Like, she tells her, you can't say da 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 da, but like, you got to chill with the but. If you really want to work this out, you got to really start like just eating it, taking accountability, and trying to move forward. And Shannon says in her confessionals that the reason why she wants to be there for Katie is because she knows how it feels to be ganged up on. And we all know that. We have seen them gang up on Shannon 11 times. So I love the fact that Shannon, much like Gertie on her season, is really trying to be a peacemaker amongst the girls, even though they haven't been given the same grace. And that's what makes the whole situation with Shannon and Katie even worse, because Shannon really was trying to be there for her and be a friend, and she thinking it's all good between them. And yeah, she did this snake thing to her, which is messed up. So Emily and Shane are in the car and they're discussing their son and, his eating issues and everything. And Emily gets frustrated because she feels like Shane is very kind of like about the situation. Whereas like she's crying and she's talking to a therapist and like she's just up in arms about it, which any mama would be, right? But Shane, on the other hand, is just trying to play it cool so their son won't think that he's different from other people or that there's something wrong with him. They both obviously care, but I've learned even at the age of 43, about to be 44 in the next few weeks, that people handle grief or stressful situations or sicknesses, illnesses or whatever in different ways. And I used to feel some type of way about certain family members that handled me during my moment of crises in a way that I wouldn't have. And it really hurt me. But over the years, I've learned that people respond in traumatic situations differently than you. Can it still be very hurtful? Obviously, yes. But other people cope differently. And you have to learn how to wrap your head around that. And I think that's where their miscommunication is coming in from, because they have two different reacting styles. And I think that it's causing Emily to feel like he doesn't care as much as she does, or that he's leaving her to fret about this alone, when I don't think that that's the case. I just think that they both handle things very differently. So Gretchen is back. My girl is back. The original Barbie is back and she still looks great. I don't really like the hairstyle. Don't like that 5 o'clock news hairdo. I don't like that. I like her with her long hair. But she still looks great, okay? Her and Slade are still together after 15, 16 years. They proved everybody wrong, that they just weren't a couple for the show. They have still not gotten married. They own their Goldie Hawn Kurt Russell. I ain't mad at them. They have a daughter by the name of Skylar who looks just like Slade Child. And they good. They are good. But she has an issue, of course, with Tamra, because when Slade's son, who suffered from, illness for years, passed away from brain cancer a few years ago, Tamra went on her podcast and said that his baby mama had to do a GoFundMe to pay for the burial. And Gretchen is like, Slade has never been a deadbeat dad. And like the fact that she could come for him while he was losing his son is just, horrific. Like, who does that? And if that is in fact true, that lady had to get a GoFundMe and that he wasn't helping her, that is very trifling. Very, 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 very trifling. And yeah, you should be shitted on for that, But if it's not true and you just going off what this lady said, because she could be lying, you never know, and you putting out this information about this man that you have not seen or been around years, that could further tarnish his image, is not right either. And who knows, maybe he didn't have the funds to help. We don't know. I don't know. But once again, it's just when situations like that happen, you have to be really sensitive and careful about what you say. And we all know that Tamara does not edit herself, because at the end of the day, this man's son still passed away. That was still his child, and you're not there to know the ins and outs of the situation. So you have to be careful. So, Gretchen has become friends with Jen because Jen reached out to her last season when she was going through it with Tamra. Just like, I guess, for advice on how to handle her. And Tamra tried to use that against Gretchen, basically saying that Gretchen was coming for her. The reason why she friends with Jen is so they can gang up on her or whatever. But Gretchen came with the receipts, honey, and showed that Jen came to me, okay? And from the message that we saw, she didn't say anything bad about Tamra. She really honestly didn't. She gave her some generic advice, you know what I'm saying, that wasn't harmful to Tamra. So she shut Tamara down real quick on this week's episode and in current time. But they have become, really cool with one another. So then we see Tamara and Heather together at Tamara's house, and they sitting in the bed eating and stuff like that. And Tamara goes on to tell Heather that Jen wants to be her. Like, she changed her style to look like her. She lost weight to look like her. She went to the same salon she went to and got her old extensions put into her head. And even Heather was looking at her like, now, Tamara, stop. I don't think that lady wants to be like you, look like you. I think that that's a stretch. Like, come on now. Stop. And I don't think that lady want to look like her neither. Like, girl, now you reaching. You really reaching. Okay. So at the end of the episode, the ladies all gather because Katie is having this hot pot little thing at this Asian, Chinese, Korean, I don't know, restaurant. All the ladies come, including Gretchen. So this is Gretchen's first time being around all of the girls, and her first time seeing, not all of the girls, because her and Heather were still cool, but this is her first time being around the rest of the girls, and the rest of the girls in a while, and her first time seeing Tamra in years. So Emily even admitted in her confessional that her friendship with Tamra in the past suffered when she was friends with Gretchen. And she was like, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that again. Like, how old are you that you're letting this old lady, another grown old woman, dictate who you can be friends with? And if you're friends with her, she not gonna be friends with you. You're like, how old are we? Like, Emily, this is why I have an issue with Emily big ass, because you too damn big and grown to be following in behind somebody. Like, you act like a kid. Like, have your own thoughts and opinions about situations. Be friends with who you want to be friends with, lady. Grow up. So, we find out that Katie owned up to talking to a vlogger involving Tamra. That whole situation confused me, so I'm not going to even really get into it. But she admitted that she did something wrong, child. That's all I can say. And this is when Gina jumps in and was like, it bothers me that you had a whole conversation with this person, but don't remember. How does that happen? I agree. I did get that Katie denied talking to this person, and then she remembered that she talked to the person, because she got amnesia when it comes to certain stuff. So I agree with Gina on that. Like, you had a whole conversation with a person and you don't remember none of it. Like, girl, stop. And this is where Katie gets herself caught up, because she's not being upfront and truthful about the stuff that she's been doing behind the scenes. And it does make her look shady, and it does reveal that she's doing shady stuff behind the scenes. Like, they all do it, but stop acting like you don't know what people talking about when they confront you with it, or either denying it. So she then Gina then turns to Shannon and was like, at the golden door, you were making it like we were ganging up on her. And Shannon is like shocked that she even coming at her. Like, she looking like, how I get in this? And Shannon was like, it is a situation where everybody's coming for her. It is like a gang up. And Gina was like, but she's done things to all of us, including you. Tamra just told me last year she recorded you at the gallery and then sent the video to Alexis. Katie immediately lies. There's no video that I recorded of Shannon. She lies right off the rip and said that there ain't even no video, right? So Tamra was like, you actually told me you did it. And Katie says, "What you came in there and you were screaming, and I was annoyed because this was supposed to be a peaceful day, and I recorded it and I sent it to Matt." Well, I thought you said you didn't record nothing to Shannon, girl. Which one is it? See, this is the problem. You get caught in lies. And it's like, how old are we, girl? You want to do dirt behind the scenes, but then when you get confronted, you want to run and hide or act like a little kid about the situation. Like, come on, bro. I think this is going to be Katie last season. I really do, because I think that she probably has alienated herself from the whole cast at this point. I don't see her coming back next season. But the fact that you did that and now you're lying about it is weird. Like, you're weird, bro. And I can't mess with you no more. I can't support Katie and her idiotic behavior, because it's like, what are you doing, girl? Own up to it. If you did it, own up to it. You know what I'm saying? So Shannon goes off because during that time she was going through the lawsuit with John and Alexis, and she's blindsided by this, right? So she gets up and leaves the table because she just needs a moment. And I don't blame her. Katie was like, no one has listened to that but my husband. Emily says, then how does Alexis know about it then, girl? And Jen was like, no, Katie says, no, I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up. Emily says, then how does Alexis know about it? And Katie was like, we were drinking at this thing. And Jen said, we? Jen was like, how I get in this now? Wait a minute. And she was like, yeah, we were drinking at that thing. And Jen was like, no. I don't know nothing about this. This is my first time hearing about this. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't heard nothing. My name is Bennett and I ain't in it, right? Like, she is like, And even in her confessional, she was like, I wish my friend would just own up to her and basically leave me and everybody else out of it. I'm even shocked that she could still call her friend, seeing how she move at this point. So, Katie then admits that she recorded it to show Shannon being irate to her husband. And Katie says that she did a lot last year because she thought it was an eat or be eaten situation that she was in, and that she's sorry for what she's done. And I can get that, some of the girls were coming for her. Some of them were. And you gotta get prepared. You gotta fight back in certain situations. But some of the things that you are doing, like in the Shannon situation, like I said, I don't remember if they were good with each other or not at this point, because this is right after filming last season. But you shouldn't even get yourself involved in certain things. Like, you should just be adult enough to know when it comes to lawsuits and stuff like that, don't even get involved, period. You shouldn't have been running over and showing Alexis anything. You should even want your name to be involved in that. No way. Okay. Shannon at that point was like, you know what? I think it's time for me to leave because I'm processing things, and she ain't trying to blow up and go off. And I was very proud of Shannon. She left. So Shannon leaves, and then Gretchen and Tamra go at it, child. And Tamra says to Gretchen, she was like, I don't talk about her. Girl, bye. That lady live in your veins, okay? She lives in your bloodstream. You are so pressed by Gretchen. You have been since the day she came on this show. Gretchen was like, even a few years ago, you were still talking about me and Slade on your podcast, saying that Slade was a piece of ish. And Tamara was like, I wasn't saying anything negative about you. Girl, it ain't got to be nothing negative about her. You're talking about her partner, the father of her children. Just like if anybody said anything about Eddie, you going to feel some type of way. So stop with the semantics. Ugh. So Gretchen was like, she said for years that Slade was a deadbeat dad. And Tamara was like, well, is he? And she was like, no, he's not. And in her confessional, Tamara goes on to say, like, it's been 15 years. Who is she trying to convince, herself or the world? And it's just like, okay, if he is a deadbeat daddy, how is that affecting your life? How, Sway? And if we're going to talk about deadbeat parents, you're a deadbeat mama. So, tomato. And I wish somebody would say that to her. Like, girl, stop. So, Jen jumps in and was like, a lot of this pain we have all felt hurt, talking about the things that Tamara has done to Everybody. And Tamara rolls her eyes. And I'm like, how you gonna roll your eyes when somebody holds your feet to the fire and points out all of the crappy things that you have done to all of these women throughout the years? And Tamara was like, she contacted my fucking daughter. Get to doing all that yelling crap that she do. And Jen was like, she commented, girl. She commented. And Tamara was like, same thing. And Gretchen was like, it's not the same thing. I made a comment on a public Facebook post. Is that the same thing? No, it's not. It's not the same thing. But just like I said about Katie not getting involved in situations, Gretchen shouldn't have gotten involved in that situation. That is between mama and daughter. Whether you agree with what Sydney was saying or not, just stay out of it. Don't comment. Don't do none of that, because you already know what people are going to assume or view it as. Just don't get involved, period. But she didn't contact her. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tamara took something very small and minuscule and blew it up to be something way bigger to make Gretchen look like a villain. So Tamara was like, my ex-husband made that post. And Gretchen says, you always blame it on somebody else. Your daughter even came out after you said that and said, my mom is lying. This is my account. I made the post. And Tamara was like, no, that's not true. They show a screenshot on the screen showing that that's very much true. See, baby, Gretchen was at that table eating Tamara up. Tamara couldn't say nothing back because everything that was coming out of Gretchen's mouth was true. And that's why she was sitting there basically on mute, trying to calculate in her brain, like, what could she come up with next? And she couldn't figure out nothing because she wasn't ready for Gretchen to come back on the type of time that Gretchen came back with. So Gretchen says that's what she did, and I have all the proof of it. You can spin your little lies and do all your manipulation like you always do. Facts. And Tamara, once she sees that she's been beaten in this argument, says, I thought we could move forward. And Gretchen was like, what would make you think that we could just move forward? Like, are you stupid? Like, what? And Tamara was like, well, then we're done. We're done. She doesn't want to have anything to do. We're done. And then Jen stepped in and was like, I mean, girl, why do you always do that when somebody say something to you? And Tamara says, this bitch has been going after me for 12 years. And I'm like, she has not been going after you. You started with her, girl. Stop. And I hate her in this revisionist history that she likes to live in this fairy tale world. And the fact that all of these ladies at this table can sit up there and be on mute, knowing she has fucked every last one of y'all over on this show, and none of y'all hold her accountable until she comes after you individually. Like, y'all stupid. Y'all are so stupid. So Tamara then says that her and Gretchen need to talk one-on-one, and that over the years she's often thought about reaching out to her and saying, this needs to stop. We need to stop going after each other. Girl, stop. You already thinking of new ways to go after that lady. Girl, bye. Bye-bye, Tamara. Tamara is a horrible person. Reality TV is the last thing that she should have ever gotten the opportunity to do, because it made her an even worse person than she already was. She's a terrible person. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And you want to talk about Slade being a deadbeat daddy, but bitch, you're a deadbeat mama. That's why your daughter don't fuck with you. Period. That's how you get Tamara, though. You bring up that daughter that don't fuck with her. Oh, she loses it. She loses it then. Oh, honey, that's what you got to do to her. But I'm going to give episode 2 from season 19. I'm gonna give it a B+. This was a good episode. I'm really happy that Gretchen is back. Somebody that can go toe to toe with Tamara and is not scared because they already know her tactics and how she moves. Love that about it. Katie, you get an L. You're a loser. Sorry. Only people I'm really feeling so far from this season is Shannon and Gretchen, for real. Jen, I for the most part. But yeah, the rest of them, nah, I'm good. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know my videos drop. Also, you guys, make sure you tune in to my new weekly series titled Fit Check Friday, where I critique all of the celebrity and reality show fashion looks from that week. It airs tonight at 7:02 Central Time, so please tune in. Or if you can't watch it tonight, make sure you watch it over the weekend. New episodes will air every Friday. Love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.